Afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend, is having a good day. All three major indices up today. Before we get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. I do want to give out a special shout out to Leo from Houston. Met him over the weekend here in Vegas. Great guy. He said he's interested in trading. Hopefully, he'll join us, watch the show, and start making some nice trades with us. All right. With that said, we are going to highlight a new stock this week, and part of the show is we highlight a new stock based on some sort of catalyst, either volume, news, something intriguing that happened, and we try to highlight it. Maybe we then take a position at some point, or we just watch it and see where it goes. And that stock, as you can see on the screen, is PLL, or Piedmont Lithium. So PLL came out today with some news that it is doing a special deal with Tesla. They are going to provide the iron ore that's going to make their batteries. Stock went skyrocketing up 236%. It was even a lot higher. It's at one point. So, I'm very intrigued about the name, what's going on. I mean, the stock has a very, very tiny market cap at $427 million. I need to do a little bit more fundamental research on this one, but for right now, we are going to take a look at the technicals, zoom in on this, and then kind of figure out what to do next. All right, let's go right to it. So as you can see from today's show, and you look at, and we zoom in, this red line right here, as we've talked about quite a bit, this is the upper Bollinger Band. So anytime this is touching this upper Bollinger Band, indicates an overbought situation. And look where we closed. We closed much, much higher than that upper Bollinger Band. So that doesn't mean this is going to come crashing down. It just means something, one of two things has to happen, right? So either the technicals have to come up and meet price, or price is going to come down to meet the technicals, right? Or, right, so this could just stay here for a while and the technicals just come up and eventually base and then move higher. But, with it being up so much, it wouldn't surprise me if, Piedmont does some sort of secondary, because they're probably undercapitalized to supply Tesla. So I could see them doing a secondary, and that's when we may want to take a position, right? Let this all play out a little bit. We'll be watching it and see where it goes from there. But I guarantee you there's going to be a better time to buy the stock. It could be higher, it could be lower. We don't know. And that's the beauty of it. But we're going to find trade location. That's key when you trade technicals, right? We're going to let everything play out, let everything calm down, let the hype calm down, wait till the technicals, where something makes sense for us, where we say, okay, this is why we got in. I mean, I couldn't buy this stock right now just based on price. It just wouldn't make sense to me. But I am watching it very closely, see what happens, see how the company, reacts to this sudden, price change, and then we'll take a position, maybe take a position when things calm down. All right, that's PLL on our watch list. All right, with that in the books, let's go into our positions that we own. First one is TOL, Toll Brothers. Okay, so Toll Brothers, as you can see, made a new 52-week high today. Went up to 49.35 or 3%. So what next? Well, look, we're at right here at this value area high right here, guys. Not many shares above us. This stock has a high probability of going higher. So my line in the sand is this blue line, or that 10 SMA. It's been riding this really, really nicely since that, that early mid-August area. So I don't see things really changing in the near term. So I am going to ride this until this 10 SMA gets breached or something else drastically happens, okay? So, but I do think this is going to go higher. So if you are interested, buy on these little pullbacks, and then until this 10 SMA does get breached, and then I'll have to reconsider our position. And since 47.75. Next stock that we own is XERS. XERS had a, it was unchanged. A little unfortunate. Markets being up so high, you would expect it to be up a little higher, but that's okay. Sometimes when the markets are down big, this doesn't actually participate on those down days. So it's just, just logically then, when there's such up big days, maybe it doesn't participate. So I'm not too really concerned. My concern is we're still above this value area high, which is a great sign. And it's this lighter blue sign, right? It looks like it's trending this lighter blue sign, a blue line rather. And this blue line right here is that midpoint Bollinger Band. It's that line between that, that red line, which is the upper Bollinger Band, and that lower Bollinger Band. So as long as that keeps riding that, and there's very little inventory or shares traded above us, I just really like the setup. Okay, long XERS, buy on pullbacks until this midpoint Bollinger Band gets breached. All right, in at 495. Next stock that was a little disappointing today was STNG. It was down only 10 cents, but with such an up day, the stock is beaten up down here. You would have hoped it would have rallied, especially with the news of last week. But there's so many shares above us, so much inventory. People are probably just throwing in the towel on this name. That don't believe it's going to go higher. There's maybe FOMO, fear of missing out. Other names are moving. This one's not going anywhere, so you can see why this stock gets sold at every rally, right? But there's going to be a point, I guarantee it, where the stock is going to start to move. It's going to start getting above that 10 SMA, that 50 SMA, hit that upper Bollinger Band, get above that point of control, and we're going to start making money. So, at this point, it's about just being a little patient with this STNG. All right, next stock that we own is VUZI. Been in VUZI since 407. Had a decent day today. Nothing spectacular. Almost got shaken out. I got in. We got in a few. I got in at 407 about 2 weeks ago. Rode it up all the way up here to 485. Thought this was going to be that breakout that we were expecting. It did sell off with the whole market last week. Those couple of bad days. Now we're above this 50 SMA, which is a great sign. We're right here at this value area high. I want to see us get above that 10 SMA. If we can do that, obviously we'll be above that value area high, and that would indicate a trend, a movement into this whole area right here, and hopefully we could start getting some legs under us and start moving. I do want to cross-reference this with that 513 EMA chart. If you're not familiar, the blue line, the light blue line is that 5 EMA. The red line is that 13 EMA. And typically when the 5 is above the 13, that is a trend reversal. And it looks like tomorrow it's starting to want to make that trend reversal pattern right here. Okay, guys, so we're long since $4.07. Hopefully with this gap up today, it doesn't give up that gap and we start making higher highs going forward. VUZI. One stock that I did have to sell today was SPPI. It was down only 6 cents. Again, this is one that, on the contrary, right here, it looks like the 5, if you take a look at the 5, is about to cross below the 13 right here. And this is usually on the inverse, when the 5 goes below the 13, a trend reversal to the downside. So I felt I wanted to get ahead of this, and and I just didn't like the way it was acting with this market being up so high. So I just took the advantage of it only being down 6 cents today to get out of the name. That's SPPI. All right, let's go over the 3 stocks that I think are going to move into tomorrow and into the next week or so. Is again MTSI. We're going to go over that real quick. This MTSI looks pretty good. We're going to take a look at that 513. Here's one that looks like the 5 does want to cross above the 13 right here. So I'm looking for a move above today's high tomorrow. And obviously, if it does that, I am going to be a buyer, and I'm going to use this 31.81 down here as my out. That's my risk reward setup right here. I'll take a small position and then continue buying on strength on MTSI. It looks like the chart has finally stopped basing right here and then now wants to move up. That's MTSI. Next stock that looks pretty good going into tomorrow is ACCD. ACCD had a decent day today, up about 5% on low volume. As you can see right here, that 513, the 5 is above the 13. Did that last week, really good sign. And then I want to bring this up on the daily chart. As you can see, this yellow line right up here is that value area high. It's breaking above this value area high. It's clearly above that blue line, which is that 10 SMA, and then that 50 MA right here. I'm sorry, the 50 SMA right here. It's above that, and it's hitting that upper Bollinger Band. So I see a continuation of this going into this new value area, which is above here. So we could, start seeing these price increases that we're expecting. All right, that is ACCD, long after that first 30-minute candle on tomorrow, on Tuesday. So next stock that looks pretty good going into tomorrow, kind of a cheapie. It's in that same EV space as Nikolai, Workhorse, obviously Tesla, but it's the cheapest one, but it's the most intriguing. They are launching in the United States later this year. It does look pretty good. It did gap up today. I've been watching it for a while. I played it once, made some good money on this one. a few months ago back in early August, and now it looks intriguing again. It is above that blue line right here, above the midpoint Bollinger Band line right here, and then right here hit that 50 SMA up here. It did fail, couldn't cross above that, but that was already a big move. It was up over 13%, so I didn't see that, continuing, let's say. So it's probably going to rest here, and this might be a good time to buy on small pullbacks, and then it has to. It is imperative that that blue line or that 10 SMA has to hold. So that's all the way down at that $6 mark. So if we could get in, in that 640, 650, our risk reward setup would be really nice. We're only risking 50 cents, and this could be a big runner for us, especially with a lot of catalysts in the future. So let's take a look at that 513 chart right here. As you can see, today was the day that not today, but tomorrow will be the day when that next bar or that next candle starts coming out tomorrow. This will cross, the 5 will cross that 13. So as soon as that starts forming tomorrow, you're going to see that 5 cross at 13, and that usually indicates, especially when the 5 does go above the 13, a trend reversal right there. Okay, guys, so that is KNDI. I'm going to be a buyer on a small pullback or a takeout of that first 30-minute candle. Okay. All right, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Again, my name is Eric, and you can reach me at eric@valueareatrader.com. That's Eric with a C at valueareatrader.com if you have any questions on the show or any other stocks you may be interested in. Okay, so if you do like the show and this is the first time you're listening in, please go ahead and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. All right, everyone, please have a great night, and remember to trade smart and be safe.